What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Boy, does it feel good to be new media. Now, the reason I say that is you guys know my videos. You know what I've said in the past, and I made a video responding to Carl Froch and his top three, who he had in the top three. He put Roman Chocolatito before Andre Ward, and this is what I told you guys in that video. I told you I don't even do pound for pound lists personally because they're all subjective and a lot of people use favoritism. Carl Froch specifically said in that interview with Sky Sports that he places, like, basically he likes Kovalev, his style. He's a man's man, so he's at number one. Number two is Chocolatito, and then the guy that beat him is behind Chocolatito, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's some personal bias there because you lost to this dude. And he also said that Ward's style is not too appealing to the eye and stuff like that. But in that video, you know what? I'm going to play some clips of what I said, and then I will resume this video. And he has Sergey Kovalev in at number one. He has Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez at two, and then Andre Ward in at number three. Now, me personally, and this is no Bay Area bias, I think Ward should be before Chocolatito. But whatever, you guys could put him in at number three. He's been less active or hasn't got a knockout, whatever you want to say. That's cool, because at the end of the day, if you have this man, Sergey Kovalev, in at number one, when they fight in November, the winner of that fight will inherit that number one spot. And I think that is the true number one pound for pound person in boxing. If you add this man, Sergey Kovalev, what he's done thus far, and this man, what he's done thus far, clearly, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, with no HBO commentary, with no bias, that is the number one person, whether it be Ward or Kovalev, period. And there's a lot of people, and I understand how marketing goes, but I'm just going to show you guys the real side. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, hell of a fighter. I rate Roman Gonzalez. He's one of my favorites to watch. In fact, I'm going to show you. I don't have to, but I'm going to because I can, right? Now, if you look at my channel, a simple search, Boxing Ego First Look or Boxing Ego Roman Gonzalez, it'll probably pop up. 1 year ago, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez dazzled knockout performance on HBO. Gave him nothing but praise on that. Before that, I did a Boxing Ego First Look, and we'll just click on it. I said Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez top 10 pound for pound star. That is the title of the video. Do I think he belongs in the top 10? Sure. He's a hell of a fighter. Do I think he deserves number one spot? Hell no. And that's just as real as I could be. He's a great fighter. If you want to put him in the top 10, that's fine. But guys like Nonito Donaire, who were dominant for 11 years with one career loss before Rigondeaux, of course, he wasn't even pound for pound number one. So what has Roman Chocolatito done that's above what Donaire's done? Donaire moved up divisions. He was knocking people out the same. His style and technique maybe not as fundamentally sound as Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, maybe doesn't look as smooth, but he was getting the job done, beating guys like Vic Darchinyan and Fernando Montiel, right? So as you guys heard in my previous video that was uploaded, still on the channel, I said Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez is a great fighter. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's highly skilled, highly entertaining. If you put him in your pound for pound list, I have no problem with that. I just don't think he's the number one. I think Ward Kovalev winner is by far the number one based on what both guys have done independently, the performances they've dished out. That person who wins in November is the number one pound for pound, whether it be Andre Ward, whether it be Kovalev, period. Now, some of you guys got at me and all of a sudden try to make it sound like I said Ward is number one no matter what. And I told you, I'm not even sweating Ward being behind Kovalev and Chocolatito, because the number, if Carl Froch had Kovalev number one and Ward number three, and they're about to fight each other, then that person, like Highlander, will inherit that spot. Whoever it is, Kovalev will either stay at number one or Ward would jump to number one, period, right? And a lot of people had a problem that I said Chocolatito was not number one pound for pound, and oh, I was hating and stuff like that. Now you got to ask yourself, the performance, Carlos Cuadras versus Chocolatito on HBO last weekend, did that look like a pound for pound number one performance? Honestly ask yourself that. Now, was it a fun fight? Yes. Was it a firefight? Yes. Did both fighters show tremendous heart and durability? Yes. It was a great fight. But to me, this proves and lends new credence to what I was saying before, that Chocolatito, I think it's premature for ESPN to put him on the top 25 or the last 25 based on the projection, because that's what it is. Because the man that showed up versus Carlos Cuadras, and I understand that was his 4th weight division, but you got to understand this. Some people got mad and said, oh, it's just you're disrespecting the lower weight classes. You just don't know the guys down there. No, I do. I mean, I don't know them from top to bottom, the first through 50th people, you know what I'm saying? I don't follow it that intently, but I know the major players, the Estradas, the Inuis, and guys like that, Chocolatito, Cuadras. I told you, that's why when I did my first look, I told you that Carlos Cuadras, I give him mad props for that fight. That's a great fight. And I said, I promise it's going to be a firefight and things like that. So that's the point. But based on that performance, and I understand he was moving up in weight and it was a champion, but you got to look at it like this. Roman Chocolatito is not the first pound for pound rated person, #1 rated person that has moved up in weight. Andre Ward just did it, and he fought Kovalev's mandatory Sullivan Barrera, who's a knockout artist. I covered that fight live. His face didn't look like that. You look at Manny Pacquiao, jumped up 2 weight divisions. Look at these pictures. 2 weight divisions to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Look at De La Hoya's face and look at Pacquiao's face. Now, to give the full disclosure, De La Hoya dropped down a weight class. Maybe that took something out of him, but it was still a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? De La Hoya had done more in his career than Carlos Cuadras. And I like Carlos Cuadras. If you dispute that, then you're dumb. That was De La Hoya's last fight. So that means everybody De La Hoya had fought before Pacquiao is on his resume. Shane Mosley twice, Fernando Vargas, Felix Tito Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez twice. You know what I'm saying? So why didn't Pacquiao's face look like that at the end? Mayweather, he went up to 154 versus Cotto, a powerful guy, a guy who's naturally bigger than him. Mayweather's face, Cotto's face, doesn't look anything like that. Mayweather also moved back up to 52 to face the much bigger, 13-year younger Canelo. Mayweather's face, Canelo's face. And Mayweather at welterweight is not even known as a massive puncher. But the point being is, and I don't judge a fight based on the appearance of someone's face. However, if you're telling me a guy is the #1 pound for pound skill set, when I think of pound for pound greatness, #1, I think of if you were somehow able to genetically modify a person's DNA and attributes and maybe stretch them out a little bit if they're real tiny and small, but most of all put their qualities in the body of a welterweight, in the body of a middleweight, light heavyweight, things of that sort, whose style would prevail? Like who would be on top? Who would be the hardest to beat? Plus resume, what you've done, what you've accomplished, performances and stuff. That's how I think of it if I did a mythical pound for pound list, right? So when I see Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, very skilled. Don't get it twisted. He's very skilled, but where they're placing him right now, saying he is right now for moving up 3 pounds and 3 pounds, and I don't see it. I see styles that can be, arguably Carlos Cuadras beat him. And the video is not even about that. I'm okay with Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez winning. I do have a problem with HBO lying to the public and Harold Letterman saying it was a shutout after 6. But it was a very close fight. So if you want to give it to 115 to 113 for either guy, very solid, right? Because it's kind of what you like. They both did very good work. But a draw also would have been fair, and a draw would have allowed the champion to keep his title. And usually you got to do a bit more to dethrone a champion. You know what I'm saying? And in the later rounds, Roman kind of faded. He did great early, but did he do enough to unseat a champion? You know what I'm saying? And that's my point. If you're saying he's pound for pound #1 right now, not in the future, because you can't base pound for pound #1. You're on the list right now, so how can it be based on a projection for what you could accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew how great Mayweather would be. If they did, do you think Top Rank would let him buy him out of his contract? Nobody knew how great Manny Pacquiao was going to be, and he was going to be an 8-division champ. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, his old promoters probably wouldn't have fucked him over before he got with Top Rank. See, some of you guys don't even fucking watch boxing, so you don't know shit like that. How Manny Pacquiao was basically getting extorted by his old promoter and had to go to court. and stuff like that. But again, that's the point. You can't base it off of projection. You have to base it off what you've already done to this point. And to me, with Roman Chocolatito, I mean, when is the last time you've seen a pound for pound #1 person, whether moving up or not, and they put on a performance where you weren't convinced? Like when Mayweather, I don't even know if he was pound for pound then, but I remember he moved up and fought DeMarcus Corley. He got hurt, he got rocked, but at the end of the fight, there was no doubt who won. You know what I mean? When Mayweather was pound for pound #1 and he fought Shane Mosley, he got rocked, he got hurt. His face didn't look like it went through a meat grinder, but there was no doubt who won those fights. Ricky Hatton, no doubt who won those fights. Pacquiao, when he was blowing through Ricky Hatton and Mosley and David Diaz and Cotto, there was no doubt who won the fight. They put that stamp on it. To me, whether you have Roman winning or Carlos Cuadras winning, there was no stamp. There was no pure pound for pound separation. Carlos Cuadras even did an interview and he said, Roman Chocolatito ain't the pound for pound. I won that fight. And that's my thing. There's a lot of premature. Let these fighters be great in time and let them do what they do organically without you force feeding us. You know what I mean? The network's force feeding, but just looking at the performance, moving up or not. Again, you got to look at in the lightweight divisions. Roman Chocolatito, he did move up, but he moved up 3 pounds, right? He wouldn't, back in the day, it was like 107 or below. There wasn't all these subdivisions and stuff like that. And to me, from what I've seen from Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, although very talented, I see there are guys that can give him problems. Estrada, that's a controversial fight. I'd love to see a rematch. Carlos Cuadras, maybe he comes back with a different game plan, makes some modifications, maybe Roman does. But those are all difficult fights. You look at Inouye, he's huge, he can crack. You know what I mean? That's a very dangerous and difficult fight for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. So as far as this pound for pound, I think the point is proven. He's a great fighter. He's exciting to watch, but again, there's no reason moving up 3 pounds or not, you would look like this. Again, I've seen tons of guys do it that were on the pound for pound list. Andre Ward fighting Sullivan Barrera, this person, that person. And it's not just a face test, it's also the eye test, what I actually seen. Him fade, him look like his power didn't carry up. And that's okay because, you know what I mean, guys move up and you have to get it done. Sometimes your power is not the same. But overall, from what I've seen, that is not pound for pound #1. It's a good fighter with 4 weight divisions. You know what I mean? Broner was running through competition at 35. Nobody was even putting him on the pound for pound, even on the back of it. So to me, it's about favoritism. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about Broner at 30, 35. He was a 4 division weight champion too when he was at age 24. Roman Chocolatito's pushing 30, right? And you could say Roman has a higher skill set or whatever, little nuances and stuff like that. But the point is, they're going to point and pick out who they want. But based on what I've seen a great fighter in Carlos Cuadras and also Roman Chocolatito, a battle of wills. But I don't see what HBO and a lot of other people are saying about he is the #1 right now. Again, you can't base it on projection. You know how many people were supposed to go on to do greater things? Jermaine Taylor's or Kelly Pavlik. There's a ton of guys who were just looking unstoppable. You know what I mean? But we just have to see them in those situations before we start anointing people. Share the video, like the video. Let me know what you guys think of Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez's performance. Do you think he won? Do you think he lost? Like I said, the fact that it's even up for debate, it kind of lets me know there's still some more work that needs to be done. Like I told people in the past, Guillermo Rigondeaux, I don't see Roman Chocolatito beating him, even if Rigo dropped down. You know what I mean? They fought at a catchweight. Just, you can't, at the elite of elite, when you have 2 great fighters in there, I think defense is also going to be one of the biggest things, and game planning, that separates the 2. And the way he was getting hit, the way his face was tattered up and marked up, that's you're a sitting duck for a sharpshooter who's fast like Rigondeaux, tricky footwork. And Rigondeaux is actually probably better with aggressive fighters, you know what I'm saying? Like he looks more spectacular. Donaire, guys like Amagasai who just bring a constant pressure to him. You know what I mean? He may get knocked down, but I mean, if you don't get him out of there, then he's a problem. So let me know what you guys think of Roman Chocolatito versus Carlos Cuadras. Fun fight. I'm not trying to take away from that, but again, I've explained why I don't feel he's the #1 pound for pound. And Ward Kovalev clearly is that. Drop it in the comment section. Share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video. It's Ego signing off.
You don't feel it, then it must be too real to touch. You'll never in your life try to knock the truth. The illest shit ever. Get ready, 'cause this is about to get heavy. Trying to keep me out. Trying to
what I say, cause they don't like what I'm talking about. So what's wrong with the media today? Prove I'm lying if I ain't correct.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.